trap. So looks like we will be heading into the game though. So fasten your seatbelts, guys. It's going to get pretty darn intense for this best of one. So let's go ahead and check out where we'll
currently, yeah, the feaster here is at the statue, seeing the perfumer here, if not mistaken, and of course the perfumer is going to head on to the maze to potentially kite the feaster, and of course we just saw just now that the feaster wasn't in range to actually get and hit the perfumer here, but it's still a good job though because the feaster is keeping up, and just look at that discipline. It's kind of good. So far so good for the perfumer, and sprayed to the immersed state, and he just hit him. But luckily though, he is in an immersed state, and that means it's not going to be injured anytime soon.
Yeah, perfumer doing a great job here at buying time for the team. Whilst the rest of the survivors already starting to work on decoding those ciphers.
Yes. Yeah.
Things are going to be pretty interesting here. Ooh, one more hit. Going to be landing on the perfumer there, but going to be A-OK. Really buying a lot of time here. Dio hell-bent and intent on making sure that he at least lands that first survivor, though pretty much preoccupied with trying to take down that perfumer. But of course, for Z-Zeta's perfumer doing a great job at making sure that he doesn't succumb to this particular hunter.
Oh, looks like he's gonna be hit anytime soon, but again, thanks to that perfume, it's not gonna be anytime soon get injured. But the good thing about here is that if you notice that the overall composition is more on the kiting and the rescuing. So the perfumer is doing a very good job just taking time, because the other three doesn't really have that good decoding speed, so it leads to cipher rush. But look here, looks like the feaster finally gets the perfumer here, knocks down, and of course goes for the chair. And the thing about the feaster here is that he is actually good at locking down this perfumer here to get that secure kill, or that secure chaired.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about this is with the tentacles set up here, it actually makes for a pretty good defense if you think about it. But from what we're seeing here, let's go ahead and check out the movement from the rest of these survivors. So I was talking about the points earlier. So since this is a best of one, every single point counts. You don't really have the same room to spare in comparison to when you're in a best of three. But there you go, last effort gonna be coming up here. Didi trying to go for the save here. Let's go ahead and see who Dio will be going for, in which case before one of these survivors fall. So it looks like they will be passing the baton though. I think Didi going to be hanging around here, but of course Dio will still opt for this perfumer as the perfumer falls.
Which is the optimum thing to do for a hunter, because even though the tide turner has been used, the fact that the perfumer was already sitting on the chair, it's going to be the priority of the hunter. And of course, that being said, this is pretty looking good for the feaster here. And the thing that the survivors has to do is, like we can see on the map, that the seer will just keep on continuing on that cipher rush, while the other survivor will try to actually go and get the perfumer here, but it has to be really quick. Because the perfumer will be sent back to the manor very shortly, but with the help of the dash of the forward, is gonna go right here and try to rescue in time to actually have that safety. But here again, the last effort will be used.
Yeah, unfortunately for the perfumer, that is going to be strike 3, in which case Dio, of course, going to be very, very happy with that. Already guaranteed one survivor down. Take note, 2 ciphers still remaining that the other members of Z-Zeta are working on. Probably want to time that correctly, but I think it will be a good done deal as Dio secures his first takedown.
But you can see right now, Articuno, 2 ciphers remaining for the side of survivors. And if I'm not mistaken, the hunter skill is already changed to teleport and will be teleporting to the nearest cipher, and which we can see here that Billy was knocked down with the help of the feaster's tentacles.
Beautiful right there, coming in from Dio. Going to be strapping Billy to that chair, sporting that Ryuji Sakamoto skin there. I'm jealous. But this is going to get all the work here, of course, with the less survivors that you have to work with. Looks like both this coordinator as well as Seer are going to have to work together to try to get Billy off. Like I mentioned, every single point counts here. You want to try to get as many survivors off of that gate. Looks like Glass going to try to go in onto Billy, but very, very tricky. Didi going to be firing that gun just to make sure that they get forward
Yes, because you know this is like the main priority of the survivors right here, since they only have a cipher remaining, and this specific cipher is near to actually pop up. And now we are now seeing that the survivors' main focus is to survive as much as possible just to get this cipher decoding. But you can see now that this is a very good call for the Feaster as he guards down this the remaining cipher. But of course, countermeasures is very essential for the survivor as they go to another or a different location of a cipher just so that they could actually pop this up. And the coordinator doing just buying enough time just so that the Feaster could have the attention to her. Ooh.
Exactly, but man, look at those tentacles doing some work. Glass actually going down as well, so there's going to be a lot riding here for Zeta, particularly for Billy. Can he manage to salvage the rest of his teammates? That is the bigger question here. Like we mentioned, there's still one cipher that remains to be popped here, so going to be very, very tricky. All eyes are definitely going to be on Billy at this point.
Yes, and you can see that the coordinator is really taking time on that chair, but now in the map, we just seeing that the forward will be attempting to rescue one of the survivors here, but the Feaster has a very, very good knack of the map because he has both visions of the two seated survivors.
Yeah, and this is definitely one of the trickier things when you're working in a best-of-1 match. Like I mentioned, you want to try to get as many survivors off the gate. And in Billy's case, you know, you don't really have the luxury of thinking that, hey, you know what, we still have a few more rounds to go. If this doesn't start off well, then, you know, we can just try to work our way as the rounds go along. But in this case, it's the only chance that they have, which is why Billy, it's a little bit of a debate here. Didi, not going to be long of this world anymore. He's going to be blasting off soon. Billy, I think, will at least try to go for the save onto last. But there's the hit, and ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a clean sweep here for No Fear Squad as Dio works his magic. 4 out of 4 survivors taken down. Great way to start this best-of-1 trait. But you know what? Nonetheless, we're going to have to see how that plays out. Love the shakeup right here.
Yeah.
But it really comes down to execution at the end of the day. So come on, because it is now round 1 for our last match of the day. Once again, it is No Fear Squad on the Hunter side versus Boy on the Survivor side. Let's go ahead and see if they could bring it on into the match we get.
Truly, and we are seeing some good starts here. The Feaster on the way to the shack side. The Prospector just nearby, just moving off that decode and cipher. And the Priestess, if we saw a while ago on the split screen, was on the statue side. And now we are witnessing that the Feaster has his eyes on the prize. Mufin here just doing a good job making the distance farther with the help of his magnet. And of course, you know, you have to transition from one location to another, and this is so far so good. Is done very beautifully by the Feaster.
Yes, and it looks like already on the trail. Ooh, circle around right there. Dio will be held down right now, but he will be just fine. Transitions quite easily. Not really that much lost ground here just yet. Really intent on pursuing zombie trash here.
Yep. And I like the way where he places his tentacles right here to give pressure to the Priestess, and pressure indeed as he terror shocks this Priestess. I love that combo. He hit it with his normal hit, goes to the tentacle radar, and bam, you got calamari.
Oh my goodness, the calamari keeps coming on. But yeah, first target already down, and look at this Dio spotting out Uranium just within the vicinity, but actually playing it a bit more safer, making sure that he has zombie trash well guarded on the defensive front for Feaster.
Yes, definitely. And we saw the Perfumer a while ago. I think she thought that the Feaster was on his way and used that perfume a little too early. But again, the Prospector did a good job in rescuing the Priestess with the help of the Tide Turner and the Repel to further away the gap away from the Priestess. But the last effort has been triggered. This is looking so good for the Priestess because she's just distancing away herself from the other members to decode. Just good chitin, but you know, the last effort is already there. And she's going to be rocket chaired again for the second time. The Feaster is good here because he doesn't want to waste time. And when he sees his target, he does not hesitate to use his tentacle radars and to just hit that with, you know, with much precision.
Dio definitely getting a lot of work done here. Time managed quite efficiently to think about just how much he's managed to do in pursuit of this priestess. But of course, so goes the flip side here for the survivors who have actually gotten 2 ciphers down already, moving, already working on this one. But of course, with Dio in his presence, heart beaten, the chase is on.
Yes, but the Perfumer's doing a good job decoding while the Prospector is buying time for him. And again, the Feaster was able to get the magnet, but with the help of the Calamari Tentacle over there, with a good job, just precise hits with the Calamari, goes for the Terror Shock, and finally sitting down on the rocket chair. But up to what exchange, Articuno? They have 2 ciphers remaining. The Acrobat is still there as well as the Perfumer. And these 2 characters are pretty good for rescuing.
Okay, speaking of rescuing, that's exactly what this Acrobat managed to pull off right now. 2 ciphers remaining at this point. Perfumer just really hell-bent and intent on making sure that more of these ciphers are propped and ready. They already lost out on 1 survivor. Definitely don't want to lose out on any more whatsoever. Movement going to be using some crowd control here to hold down Dio, but Dio pretty much still on the chase, not going to deter him whatsoever.
Yes, and if we didn't see it on camera, but I heard the knockdown, and it just means that the Acrobat was knocked down by the Calamari, but Mufin here just moving his way out to the kiting areas, transitioning from the sides to the pallets, and eventually I think he would go to the hospital. But looky here, Dio. Look, it's like a JoJo reference right here. He's doing a good job just targeting Mufin here, and he knows that this is essential because he wants that takedown.
Yes, and there you go, strapped onto the rocket chair here. Now this is where things
that's Grizzly's song.
All the which one?
Like Survivor on a rocket.
Oh my god!
You just sang it, dude.
I fell right into that.
Yes, the groove is on.
But here you go, Ranium. Oh, Ranium going to be going for the save this time. Is still quite healthy, so can spare a hit if needed. Circling around, there you go. Mufin is off that rocket chair once again, and they are on the run. 2 ciphers remain, probably ciphers which have already been prepped by Ranium, in which case. So it really comes down to how well they play their cards within these next few minutes of the game, because things are coming down. All 3 survivors already taking a hit. So it's very crucial that they don't fall to Dio at this point, especially Mufin, if I'm not mistaken, because strike 3 and he's going to be out.
Yes, truly. And I like the way that the Feaster places his Calamari Tentacle onto the kiting area a while ago to narrow down the options for kiting once again for both the Perfumer and the Prospector. But the Prospector here, despite being injured and was safe for the 2nd time, is doing a good job kiting and buying time for the other members, which is really exemplary because, you know, each kiter's role is to take the time as much as possible without getting hit. Because you mentioned that when he's seated once more, he's gonna be KO, and that is what happened because, again, the Tentacle Radar is just so OP that this Feaster is just hitting him with that Tentacle. And that's the 2nd takedown for the side of No Fear Squad. And here we can see that the Feaster is just lurking and looking for potential ciphers that are shaking. And it was a good reflexes for the, I'm not sure if it was the Perfumer or the Acrobat was there, but it was a good choice that they went away to that cipher to go to safety because both of them are injured. With 1 hit of that tentacle, they could be in great danger.
Yeah, speaking of danger though, Dio already finding this Acrobat. Of course, Acrobat, very, very dangerous. These tentacles just hitting left and right. Dio is having a ball this game.
Yes, he's maximizing all those tentacles, using it into his advantage, and knowing that this map is small, the tentacles have this wide range to actually hit the survivors. And of course, the perfumer here, he's doing a good job just keep on ciphering here since he needs to prime this.
Yes.
But I think he's already did it enough. And the main objective is to get it. But he was trying to hide. But the Feaster suddenly sees his features right there crawling. And now the perfumer's job is to kite away and tap the acrobat and save him potentially.
Oh man, this is tricky though, because it's like you're being pinstered in constantly in the midst of these chase. Once you think you're in the clear towards a certain direction, you're gonna get blocked by Tentacle, but oh no, Rainium gonna be falling in the hands of the No Fear Squad's Hunter, and Dio just gonna be very happy with himself. All 4 survivors down for the count, and this will mean a perfect 5 points that'll go to NFS. Great start to this final match for them.